Good every somebody, babies and gentlemen. You are welcome to.
Wait. You have started. It's not too early. It's not.
She not greet
you. Look at the energy you used to come. Good every somebody, babies and gentlemen.
Because I have limited time. Limitation time.
Are you dying?
Limitation. Now, any somebody has limitation time. It means he going to another work. He want to go and do another job.
Are you doing pong-pong now?
I have to do. Nobody is helping me now. I have to help myself. My accident will soon conspire.
So you are doing bricklayer.
I have to do any work.
Hello guys, welcome to this episode.
F is code.
Okay, welcome to this F is code.
Thank you.
Today we want to talk about our our fornication prophet.
King of fornication.
King of Ikokereko.
Yes, it will like that. We will not say it now, but I want you to cool down and watch this video. Very, very interesting.
Oh, this video is about a young lady who had an experience with Prophet Uebert Angel, and we want you to watch this video. When we come back, we'll talk.
Yes.
Let's just get into the video. So what I want to first address is my background. I moved from a church that had practically nationalities from all over the world. I moved into the ministry that we are currently. I moved there in 2015. And when I saw these individuals, this couple that have founded this church, I was very drawn to them. But the person that I was the most drawn to, it was the wife. The wife was my source of inspiration, sort of my role model, and basically being a mother. And then she had 4 kids, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. She has 4 kids. She's a businesswoman, a fashion icon, a godly woman who speaks so good about God and focuses in the whole worship and intimacy and all that. Those were things that I looked up to. And the fact that she had a husband that was sort of honoring her in terms of social media and how he used to refer to her and all that gushy feeling stuff. It felt that I was in the right place to the direction that I wanted to go. So for me, it was perfect. That's why I was in this ministry. I only had 2 instances where I was addressed by this person, I was spoken to by this person, and these very same instances did not last more than 60 seconds. The first instance, it was in September 2018. I remember that I was with my mentor and his family, and basically we were all in a corner, and he looked at my mentor and pointed at me and said, "Who is this?" And then my mentor said, "This is Julie." He turned to me, I think he just extended his hand. He extended his hand, shook my hand, say, "How are you?" And I say, "I'm good." And I remember I said it very abruptly. I don't know, but I felt like my good was quite rude. And I was like, Jesus, this is the first time that this person actually addresses you, and here you are sounding rude. He probably picked it, Julie. He probably picked it because he's a prophet. Then the second time that he approached me, it was actually at a service in February 2019. At a service, it was at the very end, and he was just going back and forth. He just turned around and he said, "What do you want God to do for you?" And I said it. I said, I want basically to receive more wisdom towards creating business and doing business. Those were the only interactions that I had. Now, come to autumn 2019, this, please don't take this as gossip, is to explain to you how it happened. So this person texted me via Instagram, reached out to me, said, "Hello, how are you?" All the formalities that we do, obviously when you're greeting somebody. And then he proceeded to say something related to my family. Now, related to my family as if he had already spoken to me about that before. And I remember that I was confused because obviously the interaction that I had in February 2019 had no reference whatsoever about my family, about a family member. It was only business. That's the only thing that I said. He never prophesied to me. He never said anything apart from what he asked me about, what do you want God to do for you, and the other interaction of how are you. I was confused because there was no issue whatsoever in my family that required that attention or that had been revealed or anything like that, that I actually had to myself to remind him that sorry, but the last time and only time that you spoke to me regarding God, it was such date, and this is what you said, and this is what I said, that I wanted wisdom to do business. So he's like, okay. After me clarifying that, he said, go to Telegram, here is my number. I had heard already that he does like to speak to people in Telegram. So I went to download Telegram, and he was sort of getting impatient. He was telling me, do quick, be quick. So I went back to Instagram and I told him, I don't have it. I didn't have Telegram, so I'm just downloading it. I will set it up. And while I was writing that, I started seeing that he had already been deleting the messages, and he was still deleting other messages. The only message that had remained there, it was the number until I was in Telegram. Once I was in Telegram, I think that by that time he had already deleted the last remaining message, which was his number. And just in case somebody wants to think that maybe I was talking to somebody else, or perhaps I couldn't have been talking to him, that this is impossible. No, he wouldn't come to you to speak to you. Okay, no problem. This is the number that texted me, that he sent me. This is the number that he sent me. I'm not going to say the full number, but I'm going to say the last 6 digits. And the last 6 digits were 304. 500. I still have it stored in my phone because I stored it as his, his vocation, his calling, what he likes to be called. I stored it as that, and that's how I have his number. If anybody wants to discredit me and say that perhaps that wasn't him, well, those 6 numbers, if you check in between autumn 2019 to winter 2019, if you have that number that he had, then you will be able to understand that yes, that was him. So that's my only way to vouch, to say that I spoke this person gave me their number. When I got to Telegram, he started by first telling me and offering me money and asking me what did I do for business, what did I do for money. And I told him, first of all, I said, no, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm actually working with one of your sons in his business. He asked me which son. And I say, so person. And he said, okay. So that's when now the conversation turned very weird. So he went to ask me to come and meet him. I don't remember exactly how he put those words, but I remember that was what I was being asked to go and meet him. And I said, actually I'm going to be coming in the next couple of weeks because there is an event coming. So perhaps I can see you then. And then he said, no, not then, now. And I went quiet because I couldn't understand. There was a moment where I was just quiet. I was actually quiet. And what he said then next is, because I went quiet, he sort of like, not that I went quiet, but like, let's say for example, like, this is my phone, yeah, and I am here testing and whatever, and I don't know what to say, but I'm deleting because I don't know what to say because I feel awkward. At the same time also, I remember that I was worried, I was concerned that perhaps did I miss an announcement or something. Number one, I didn't belong to any of the mentorships, any of the classes or anything like that. I didn't belong to any group or whatsoever. I was confused. So when he saw that I was taking long, he just proceeded to ask the next question. It's like, he asked me, what would you do and what wouldn't you do for me? And when he asked that question, along with the whole thing of like coming to meet him, I already sort of like, my subconscious mind sort of sensed that he wanted to have a meeting along with me. And my mind was going in circles. I was wondering, is this person asking me for real to go somewhere and meet him, to see what I would do and what wouldn't I do with him? When you ask that question, it sort of sounds very intimate for me. I just didn't know what to say. And I was back and forth trying to make a sentence that would fit an answer that perhaps I could get an understanding of what he meant, or that I could sort of refuse whatever he was saying. But if I refused, then I felt like maybe I was assuming too much into the question, because he is the person who goes around saying that assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. And I didn't know what to answer, so I took quite a long to even try to type, because at the end I didn't answer, because at the end he went on and to say the following statement. He said, "You're being too religious." When he said that, I was like, oh, in my head I was like, so I'm overthinking this. Julie, you're overthinking this. How dare you think about this way about a prophet? How dare you think that he potentially could be interested in you to be alone with him in some place? He just proceeded to tell me that I am not a die-hard member. I felt really bad. I felt like perhaps I offended him by speculating or assuming that he was referring to something physical with me in a location. But at the same time, I was trying to convince myself out. It's no, this cannot be happening. Perhaps no. This is perfect. This is a person who is out there, talking to people, healing people and stuff, prophesying. I felt really confused. At that time, and I was lost for words. And I said, okay, no problem. So, okay, I'll be a diehard member. I think I said something like that. I'll try to be a diehard member. And then he asked me again the same thing. Will you come and meet me? So I said, okay, I will be a diehard member, because in my expectations of what a diehard member means is a person who is die hard for Jesus, a person who would do anything for Jesus. That's my expectation. That's my definition of what a diehard member means. Now, being too religious, it felt like I was being told, I was being rebuked for having thought those bad things, So he asked me again the same question, since I had already said that, okay, I'm going to be a diehard member. So he asked me again the same question. Once again, I went quiet. I'm like, I thought that I'm being tested. Am I being tested? Am I being pranked? Am I being too judgmental? It was a rush of emotions, a rush of different emotions, different feelings, but it just did not make me comfortable. It was the most awkwardest that I've ever felt with a minister or a prophet, pastor, whatever. It was unknown to me that I just didn't know how to react, and I was trying to make a sentence to reply so that I could sort of deviate from that or not get into that. I just didn't know what to say. And once again, I took time. So once again, he replied and he said, "You're still being religious." And for me, I was like, okay, so in my head, I was like, okay, this person is rebuking me on something that it feels like it's wrong, but at the same time, I'm so confused. So I went and proceeded and asked him, what should I do? And he said, just be a real daughter. I said, okay. So then he proceeded to once again ask me for the following question, which was, how much would I need to be comfortable? And I understood that it was money. He was offering money. And I said, no, Dad, I'm okay. I just want access to you and Mom because both of you are successful in business. And he just proceeded to reply with, it is well. And I said, amen. And that was the end of the conversation on Telegram in autumn 2019. This is now where I'm going to speak about what my mentor said. And you will understand that this is the reason why I'm sharing this, because number one, my mentor at one stage or in two different occasions, he was teaching us, not only me but other people. We were all in an environment where there were other adults, and I thank God that I was there to listen, because he said one thing that was very, very remarkable. And he said, never take money from a prophet, just attach yourself to the access. The access is better than the money. That was basically sort of like how he brought up the subject. And not because I go around getting money from prophets or from pastors or any men, to be honest. No, I don't go around that. I know he was saying it, and I know that sort of stuck with me even more, because I've always been what we would be called as a kingdom financer. This is the advice that he gave either 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but it sort of stuck with me. And I kept that in my heart. And when he decided to offer me money, the prophet decided to offer me money on those two occasions, I refused, because I had that already in my heart. Now, this is where I want to bring awareness to women, because I felt that word was my saving ground. After all these things exploded, all the scandals started to come out this July, and I started hearing other girls' situation that in fact they did end up being abused and raped and manipulated. I understood that in some cases or instances, money was involved, financial help was involved, connections help was involved, doing something for their name to be known, positions were involved. Now, some of you will be like, but you were not abused, you were not raped. Thank God for that word that I heard, and thank God for the fact that I was slow, that I am naturally a person who likes to understand what's going on before I commit to it, because I was scared. I was really, really scared of what I was going to say that would offend him if I said, no, I don't want to come, because, the church environment was cultivated in a culture where if you refuse anything that this man says, you are not diehard enough. If you refuse anything that he tells you to do, you are not going to succeed. That was the culture where we were raised, and that's why it bothered me when I was told that I was not a diehard, and it bothered me when I was told that I was too religious. And it felt really bad that after such a long time of being with the ministry, from 2015 to 2019, I was still not considered as a real daughter. For me, that time, that conversation, it was really purposeless. It had no purpose except to make me feel bad. But after this came to light, the scandals came to light, I came to understand that this is a serial sick person in the head that tries. I came to understand that this man, he is a highly skilled, curated predator. He is a highly skilled, curated predator. He is a highly skilled, curated predator. Because he uses manipulation, I was able to understand that conversation that we had, that brief conversation that we had, is the first stage of how he identifies victims. That's how he can identify who can be my next victim. By that talk, had I said, yes, I will accept the money, it would have been a hook, something that he could anchored me to a certain position so that he could come back later on and start doing all the nasty things that he goes around doing with other people. So it would have been that perhaps I would have been whatever, told like, you know, but I'm your dad, I'm here to support you and everything, do this for me, do this for me. You see, blackmail. So it's sort of a blackmail. And this is how I came to understand as well, that he uses manipulation so that he can make the person feel bad and feel like, oh, dad said that I am not a diehard, or perhaps to go to the next step where now the person would be, what am I supposed to do to be a diehard? How can I be a diehard? Teach me, Papa, teach me. I am here to listen. Because you would feel vulnerable at that time, that he called you religious, that he told you that you're not a diehard, and that he told you that you're not a real son. You know, the way that he wants sons of consolations, daughters of consolations. What is that? A person who does not think by themselves, a person who will not think and will just do as he is told or she is told. They tell you, come to the office, you will be there. You will be there doing everything that he tells you to do. Why? Because you have to. Because you have been sort of told that you are not a daughter, that you're not real, that you are not a diehard if you are not doing those things. So this is how he does it. These are the points that I want to address, and this is what I want you to understand, to take from this video. This man is a highly skilled, curated predator. He goes around, selecting prey based on how much they submit, how much they post him, how much they talk about him, how much they comment, how much they like. They are watching this. You are just a statistic for them. You are a statistic for them because they are watching how you respond. So they are taking in all this information. Him and his silly minions, which I will address in other place, in other times, they are taking the information to establish whether the time that he comes to you and he tells you these things and you sort of show some sort of resistance, he knows what he's going to say. He knows that people don't like to be told that they're too religious, because that whole concept of saying that you are too religious, he is basically saying to you that, oh, so you think you are better than me, you think that you're holier than me, so you think that you know more than me. And people know that if you are to be considered as a person who thinks that they know better than him, you are you are just basically disrespecting him. So that whole thing of being religious, and him also saying things like, I don't take no for an answer. Everything that he says is a subliminal message. Everything that he preaches is some sort of subliminal message that it gets installed in you. And then when he comes to you and he sort of tells you you're not a diehard, that subliminal message of not submitting, not doing as he says, that subliminal message of people that lost their lives, that subliminal message of people that offended him, how they ended up broken stuff, all that subliminal message is stuck in here. And when you have it stuck in here, it tells him that the moment that he mentions this thing, all the things that are stuck in your mind are going to come, and you're going to fear, and you're going to be afraid that you're offending the highly esteemed Papa. He's going to, he knows, because these are years and years of subliminal messages that he has been downloading and uploading on your mindset. And this is how he starts. Had he continued to come to me and continued, perhaps I would have given into that pressure of, I have to be a diehard. Let me prove that I have to be a diehard and go and meet him alone. And that would be another story. But thankfully, he left me. I did not concede. I did not receive that money, even though I was extremely upset afterwards and it sort of made me feel down. But I am thankful today as I hear all these scandals that is coming out of people being raped, women being raped, whether they are married, whether they are single, widowed, and potentially also, not potentially, but also targeting underage people. This is very, very dangerous. it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. So this is why I'm saying this. We have to bring awareness. We have to let people know this. Women have to be cautioned. Women have to be told these things, because it's really painful to see women that are going to be manipulated, that are going to let their guards down because of whatever he's going to say, that in a manipulative way, and then they're going to end up going and meeting him or receiving the money that he offers, or the positions, the connections, and now they're going to be indebted to him, which ends up for working against them when they're alone in that room, and now this guy is touching you without your consent. So basically, this is what I wanted to say to you all. Please be very careful. Do not allow yourself to be manipulated. Do not allow yourself to be told to go and meet him somewhere. Do not allow yourself to be used, to be made feel like you are not doing enough. You're doing enough for Christ. And most of all, don't go and meet him. If he tells you to go and meet him, don't meet him. And I'm going to continue talking about these things because I've taken my time to research on the profiles of rapists, the profiles of narcissists, the profile of people who manipulate, which he falls into every single category. He is a highly skilled, curated predator. And I don't want any woman to be in that position where they don't have that knowledge, that understanding that this is how he operates. I was saved by what my mentor said. I was saved by being slow, something that he doesn't like. And if I am to add, he doesn't like people to be slow. He wants people to do everything fast because he knows that that doesn't give them an opportunity to think for themselves. And at the end, you end up in a place where somebody is dictating your life, dictating how to use your body, how to do things, imposing himself on you. All of the sake because you have to be a diehard fan, a diehard person. You have to be a real daughter, or you have to be a real son by allowing him to do whatever he wants with your wife and your family and your daughters and everything. So please be very careful. This is what I want to say. I know this video is long and I needed to explain the situation so that you can understand. So thank you very much for listening. Please share this video. Women need to know how he tries to slither into people's DMs and how he does it. And it's not only him, also his pastors and his fake sons, or the sons of consolation that give him consolation, that are just stupid people that have left their brain at the altar and now they are just doing everything that he wants them to do. So do not allow any one of his sons to bring you to his office by yourself. Go with your mom, go with your husband, go with your friends, go with somebody else, but never in your life allow yourself, put yourself in a position where you are left alone. Because most of the people who were left alone with him ended up being a victim of rape. So that's what I wanted to share. I have at least 6 different videos for now, at the moment, 6 different videos that I'm going to also continue spreading and giving more insight, more detailed insight on how he does things, so that you guys can be aware, you guys can be protected. And also want to address, I'm going to address the victims, because I know that you guys are in pain and in a lot of shame. I'm going to address those who got away, so that you guys can come out and start speaking about this. I'm going to address those silly minions that are following him, and I'm going to address more things that are related to bringing safety to the church, to marriages, to women, so that women cannot be taken advantage of, they cannot be raped. And I'm going to continue from there. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're back.
Welcome back. You know the first thing that make me happy for this lady, she have sense.
She's a very
she
wise
no
young
for
lady.
victory.
She
If for victory.
she for fall. She will fall.
I said the girl no fall victory.
Victory.
Yes na. You know say if
Shut up. Is victim.
oh somebody no fall victory mean say na she win the fight between the man.
She no fall. She did not fall victim.
There's nothing like being team. Who dey beat? They no dey beat any
I didn't say
team.
victim. I said victim.
Which team na super eagles abi na bafana.
It's okay. It's not bafana. It's not bafana.
The woman she no fall victory. If you no fall victory, somebody set trap for you. Now you now escape it. That means you do not fall victory. That is what you call. You know Vic. Who Vic? Vic you not be the one get name.
It's okay now.
Vic na one get name.
Okay,
and she no do anything. Nothing like victim. She thank God she not fall victim.
You know one thing this man does. This Uebert, he has 3 strategy. In church now, if he sights a girl, once he sees a girl, that's one is the first identification. He has seen a victim that he likes. Maybe the girl has nice shape and all that. Then he will know that girl is very desperate for money, because most girls now they want to buy bone straight. They need money.
Yes.
That's why in that UK it's hard. So he will try to lure them financially. He will tell them whatever you want. Whatever you want, I will give you. By the time he gives you £10,000,
wow. Where you no even suffer.
You did not even suffer for it. You will open your leg now. By the time you open your leg like this, he will take videos of you. He say send me nude pictures, nude sometimes, snap. Then he will enter the next phase of manipulation.
Yes. That one.
That is when he will be manipulating you to do whatever he wants.
Want to do, yes.
And that his useless son has learned to work.
So I'm very happy for you that you did not fall victory.
He's victim. Stop saying victory.
Say your own. Let me say my own.
Oh yeah. See, this young lady, she's very smart. You know a young lady that they trained well from the house, that is not money conscious.
Yes.
It's not everybody. That's why I'm laughing at all these young boys in Nigeria. We say, I want sugar mommy. Do you know what they have given the sugar mommy to take your destiny from Babalawo? She will buy you car, buy you house, give you money. But your destiny is being used. Your destiny is given her times 100.
Just like when your destiny give her 100 million.
Yes, she will not give you 5 million.
1 million. 1 million.
1 million. Your destiny has provided her with 100 million. She's giving you 1 million to flex, and you're happy. You think you are living life.
So another thing is, I was shocked when a man of God tell him. I say, why am I even?
He's a man of native God.
A man of native ghost. So when he told the lady that you are acting you are too religious.
Can you imagine? So you preach the word of God.
So what
you are telling a lady that does not want to give you, so that you give her from behind.
Yes.
That she's too religious. You can see that these people, they are not of God. They just use these guys. And all of you kneeling down for this man to lay hand on you. Fornication spirit is entering your body. You can see his son that is impacted. His son is now a compound fornicator.
Yes.
Anytime he lay hands on you, fornication spirit, Obago.
He comes straight. Thank you
for watching this episode. He that has ear. Is that how the saying goes?
Yes, he goes to where? He say he no go anywhere. He say the say have leg. Where he wan go? The say cannot go anywhere. He that have ear, let him hear what he hear. He hear.
It's okay. It's okay. Because now you have said, bird of a feather, they fly together. Some people have carried that one too. Birds of a feather, fly together. Now you want to hear? No, it will not work. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Don't forget, for a token fee, you can have your product displayed here. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, @LaughMayor. Follow this Aboki on Instagram @John Joshua Comedian. And follow all of us at Niger's Craziest. Thank you very much.
God bless.